money problems in marriage, the impact that impacts trust, carrying the load, manipulation, boundaries, and covert contracts, the emergency poop story, erectile dysfunction, money problems in marriage. Welcome to the Morrow Marriage podcast, guys. And today I just want to give you a little bit of a lesson. This is one of the top 3 problems that you guys are faced with in marriage, okay? And by you guys, I mean all of us, until we don't have money problems. Money problems, you know, when I think about marriage problems, I always think about it like this. You don't really have marriage problems, you have you problems. And I think...
Oh, I'm glad you said that, because that's what I was thinking. If you have money problems in marriage, that means you have money problems whether you're married or not.
That's right. So I think, you know, we get too on our high horse. A lot of you guys, maybe, for example, you know, getting mad at your partner for spending money. I hear that one a lot, right? Oh, my wife just keeps blowing this and blowing that. And I'm always like, well, do you have a budget? You know? And they're like, well, no. Or, well, I try, but she doesn't. I said, well, you're disconnected? Yes. Well, then you can't tell her what to do with the money, man. Like, there's so many other avenues we can go down this problem, but you don't have marriage problems that involve money. You have money fucking problems. You know, I'm going to give you another example. Maybe you don't have money problems. Maybe you need to get off your ass. You have social media scrolling problems, right? You don't know how to make money. Maybe you have health problems. Maybe you're just not energetic enough to stay focused and you want to blame ADHD, but you can't, that's why you can't study and learn how to make money from something.
Or maybe you're spending money on the wrong things. Maybe you're buying too much fast food. That goes back to health. Maybe you're buying too much alcohol. Maybe you're spending money on a gym membership and not using it. That would still cause money problems, and that would cause issues with, well, you're spending this and you're not even using it. Then it's not a money problem. You spend $200 or even $50 on a gym membership. If it's causing resentment between you and your partner because your partner expects you to go and be healthy, and you're wasting money that maybe he or she could have spent on something else, that could cause a problem. But then the problem isn't really the money, is it?
I think that more of you, when you think about the problems, I think more of you want to start thinking about the solutions. Of course, mathematically, let's say you are budgeting and you're not wasting the gym membership that Kathryn just talked about, okay? Let's say it's just a mathematical problem. Okay. Right.
You just don't have enough money to make ends meet.
That's right. And I'm going to assume here that you got rid of the fucking flashy car that you couldn't afford, and you're probably not going to get out of your house if you're over leveraged, but let's just
you're making coffee at home and not spending $5 or $10 on coffee. You're not doing all the things that you used to do when money wasn't a problem. So let's pretend that you've taken care of all of that and you still don't have enough money to pay your bills. Then what? That's what you're getting at,
That's what I'm getting, exactly. So you've done everything you can to immediately fix the issue, because you don't just go make more money. It's not like they actually manufacture money, and it's not like it's on trees, okay?
So his parents obviously said that to him as a child.
My dad said at my graduation, actually. That's what I thought. My dad makes money, manufactures it. So if you understand that you've taken care of the basics that you can control, then you have to start looking at the actual problems that are causing the impact to not have more money. Because quite often we'll go down the path of, well, this is just it's where I make it my job. Well, you don't have to have a side hustle. Maybe you have to figure out how to have a whole hustle. You know, maybe you have to figure out, is it time for a career change? You know, men that come to my program, right in my course, I say to them in one of the sections, I'm like, maybe today is the day you need to find a new fucking job or career. And I walk men through it because it's probably part of the problem. Okay? And I'm not saying it is for you guys. I'm just saying that if it's hitting you, it is part of the problem. You have to look at the deeper issues of what we're doing, because once you've taken care of the regular budget things, it's easy to start moving distractions until you start getting distracted again with something else. I mean, how many of you have tried to learn and then, if I go down a rabbit hole with something else, one thing leads to another, and we never actually, take the proper steps. But I want you to understand here today, money is not causing the problem. Money's not. You're probably not focused on everything that you want, So I'll give you an example, guys. This is super cool. Our podcast studio flooded and stuff. Well, Kathryn wanted an Airstream, so we're turning one into a 1960s Airstream into a podcast studio. 1960s. Yeah.
1960. Yeah. When we have that done, it's going to be so cool.
It's going to be badass rad. But so here's the thing. we have all this stuff that we have to get done, but now that is a new goal. So that changed our whole weekend when we decided to go buy one. It changed our whole weekend. Okay. And a few days after, I think it was just the weekend. But anyways, see what I'm saying? Like, but most of you would then take that and you'd lose everything else, right? Now,
It's your new distraction.
It's your new distraction. Now, I'm not saying that sometimes you don't move things around, okay, for putting more time into certain things, but we have to get better at balancing. You know, again, if we're going back to money problems, well, then you probably need to start balancing your career, your family and marriage, of course, your marriage first, okay? But we have to go to work, okay? And then you've got to start to balance in the time to do whatever it is that you want to do to move forward, right? Without the distractions, right? With prioritizing what's important. What is it, the 90-91 rule? Have you ever heard that?
90-91, no.
Yes, you do the most important
But I
thing.
love learning.
You do the most important thing for 90 minutes every morning for 90 days. That one thing. That's the most important thing. Then you can prioritize everything else. Now, most of you will have to get up earlier or stay up later. You don't have to do it right first in the morning like the psychologists say, but like you can put this into a part of your day where
What's the
that's
91
thing.
piece though?
No, 90-91.
Oh,
The one thing, 90 minutes
for 90 days.
for 90 days. And you will obtain a new skill. I'll tell you something else, guys. You know, like 20 minutes a day for one full year, you'll be better than 98% of the population in that thing. That's crazy, but
That is crazy.
But it's real because it's just about forming the habits of doing it. Okay. So again, we could go on and on and on and on. What I want you to take from this episode is this: you don't have money problems. You have to figure out what is preventing you from not having money, and then you just eliminate that thing.
Unless it's chickens.
Unless it's chickens. Well, chickens
Keep your
don't,
chickens.
Chickens don't affect the bank account.
No, they don't.
No. But, well, I guess I shouldn't say that. I mean, I don't know what your situation is, guys, when you're watching and listening. But, like, just eliminate the things that are causing the problem with money, okay? Add in the things after you've removed distractions to learn how to make more money. Whatever it is that is for you. You know, if you're in our programs, you're in our programs will walk you through what you can do. You know what most people do? Like I had a guy, he quit. We gave a business program away, how to make money, taught by one of our mentors, Josh, who has multiple six-figure businesses and knows how to make six figures in like 6 months or less, okay? As long as it's a good idea, it's got a good plan. And he walks you through this whole thing. And you know, we had these guys all start, they're all excited, and then a bunch of them quit. One of them goes, yeah, because I got to focus on my emotional regulation. Dude, you're the guy Googling money, marriage, and problems and getting fucking divorced because you think you can just solve your stress by learning to deal with your emotions. That's not it. You have
There's
other
still
things.
more. That is a big piece, but there's so much more to it.
Yes. So
Your emotional immaturity is showing when you say something like that.
so you did nothing with your emotional maturity. Sorry, you're wrong. You know who you are when you're listening to this. Okay, guys, see you next time.
Wait.
Oh.
I want to take this opportunity because you talked about controlling each other's spending. So I wanted to put you on the spot a little bit.
Okay.
Because my husband does not control my spending. However, I did ask if I could have 2 automatic opening doors made by Omelette for the 2 chicken coop doors here.
She got
and
me.
you
She got me
said,
here.
yeah, you said, he said, how much is it? And I said, $200 and something. We're saving for something specific right now. He never caps me. And I have my own bank accounts too, so I could just go do it. But I do respect him.
I don't even know why she asked, to be perfectly
I
honest.
wasn't asking, actually. I was just saying, hey, I think I'm going to buy these. And so he, in that moment, he doesn't cap my spending, but in that moment, he was like, I think you need to stop buying things that cost $200 and something. So in that moment, I shut my mouth, because if you could see the packages that come in on Amazon and the things that he shops for, you would be like, oh, wow, that's interesting. So in my mind, remember how I talked about thinking your husband's crazy, but you don't say it out your mouth. You just keep that to yourself and you empathize with your partner. So I was like, well, I'm not going to order them yet. But in front of everyone, I would like you to tell them that we're going to order them.
Everybody, before I agree to this, everyone, okay, I want you to understand, okay, this is not for Kathryn. Believe me, she understands. I'm a fucking narcissist. And so what happened with that was I knew that if we're going to make this big dream happen for us, we need to start doing a little bit different with savings, okay?
Yes.
And so I had to talk myself out of, I love shopping. She's not kidding. She is not kidding.
He does.
I had to talk myself off of that ledge. And that was, I don't recall if it was the same day or the next day. I think it was like the next day, because the night before, because Kathryn goes to bed earlier with the kids sometimes. And I think it was the night before I was like, okay, no more. And I was so proud. I think the next morning I was like, I didn't shop. I didn't buy anything. And I'm a narcissist. And so I think what happened there was I was like, well, if I'm not spending,
then you're not.
That's not how I said it.
No.
Right? But
he was like, oh, I think you should stop spending things that are $270. And I was like, noted, in the tank. I'll bring this up later on the podcast.
So yes, my love. Can I buy them for you myself today?
Oh, yes. That's what I was wanting, actually.
Okay, guys. Now I do have to see you next time.
See, chickens just make you joyful.
Joyful. I love it. Actually, I filmed like 10 reels with chickens yesterday.
Oh, yeah. I can't wait to see them.
All right, guys. See you later.
Bye.